Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and I've got two Ripple and XRP related news pieces for this video. The first one comes from crypto media outlet U Today, and it's titled XRP Liquidity Index in AUD Corridor Accelerates, Hitting New All-Time High. And that's the Australian corridor, of course, but I've got updates from other active corridors that we've been tracking as well. I've also got this article titled Ripple XRP partner MoneyGram makes foray into Singaporean market. Ooh, enticing, you little tease. Tell me more. But before we get going, if you would please ever so delicately tap that like button, but don't get all smashy with it. That sounds overly aggressive and unnecessary. Just a delicate little love tap will do. And consider subscribing to the Moon Lambo channel because it definitely does a body good. Ask your doctor. I promise there's science behind that. But in this first one now. XRP liquidity index in Australian corridor accelerates, hitting new all-time high. Ooh, I like the sound of that. The Twitter bot that tracks down the index of XRP liquidity works with 3 MoneyGram corridors so far: the Philippines, Mexico, and Australia. The XRP/Australian one has reached a new all-time high today. And just you wait, though. The XRP liquidity tracker here, the little bot here, it's going to be tracking many more corridors, especially in 2020. There are other active corridors, in fact. We know that MoneyGram's operating in 5 already. On Saturday, February 8th, that's today, the Australian corridor, working via the Bitcoin Markets exchange, has set another all-time high, reaching the 4,503,110 level versus, I'll just round, 4.2 million level previously. The daily progress so far is slightly under 30%. Now, for those of you not savvy, BTC Markets is the Ripple partner in Australia. That's a pool of liquidity, a cryptocurrency exchange. Don't be fooled by the fact that it's called BTC Markets. Might as well call it, just rename it XRP Markets right now, damn it, because that's what it's getting used for. It's a pool of liquidity. That's what's up. All right, but here is the liquidity index bot tweet in question. Now, moving further, since the XRP/MXN corridor working via the Bitso Mexican exchange was the first to launch by Ripple's partner MoneyGram, the XRP liquidity index is the highest there so far. At the time of writing, the liquidity of the XRP/MXN pair is approaching the 17.2 million mark, totaling 16.8 million. And you can see there's another screen grab right there as well. And then they go on, I don't want to cover this, I've talked about this in another video, but in this article, maybe they're just doing it to fill it out, I don't know, but they have this little subheading, XRP will underperform in 2020 again, says Mike Novogratz. Yeah, well, he was expecting, I like the guy, but he was expecting Bitcoin to go to 20,000 in December of 2019, and he was surprised that history repeated itself by an altcoin rally starting. Now, that's what it appears to be right now. Just to be fair, let's see if it continues, but from all the analysts that I'm following, it seems to be the case right now. Everybody's talking about how the 2-year downtrend for mini coins, including Ethereum and XRP, it's broken out against that. So being surprised by history repeating itself makes me scratch my head a little bit. And again, I like the guy. I think he's intelligent. He knows all sorts of stuff. I don't, but as it pertains to XRP, maybe I know more than he does because I'm researching it and all the developments on a daily basis. I don't know. But I suspect this. I don't make price predictions, but I think all of this real-world utility is going to bode well for the price of XRP. Now, no financial background here. I'm not offering advice whatsoever, just sharing an opinion with you, but there we are. Now, a shout out to Frecky, who on Twitter is @MaxXRPBTC, who tagged me in 3 liquidity index bot charts today. And so very much appreciated because it goes perfect with this story, which I was already going to cover. So thank you. This is the one for Bitso. Next, here's the one for coins.ph, which is the Ripple enabled exchange. So they're pool liquidity in the Philippines. There you go, another all-time high right there. And here you go, the Australian corridor, Bitcoin Markets, XRP/AUD. It's just a beautiful thing. I'll tell you what, I know what I hate, and I don't hate this. All right, next. This is from XRP Crypto Wolf. Shout out to you, my friend. I appreciate you sending this story my way. And it's this one. Ripple XRP partner MoneyGram makes foray into Singaporean market. Yes, do tell. Ripple's partner MoneyGram has announced the launch of a website for customers in Singapore, the market that is responsible for $7.2 billion annual outflows. From now on, the residents of this tech-savvy country will be able to use the company's digital services for conducting cross-border payments. And here's a quote now. Customers are increasingly valuing the investments we've made to enhance their experience, and we're thrilled to bring these capabilities to the digitally savvy population of Singapore to send money to friends and family around the world. And that was, I'm going to butcher the name, of course, because it's foreign to me anyway, said Camila Kitu. Look at the screen and see why I'm struggling with it. Kitu? I think I nailed it, actually. I take it back. I just rocked that. That's the Chief Operating Officer at MoneyGram. And then they have this subheading here. This need for accelerating digital growth is explained by increasingly tough competition in the remittance business. Multiple money transfer operators are scrambling to launch mobile wallet apps to catch up with growing smartphone penetration. And as reported by You Today, 80% of all MoneyGram transactions during the company's record-shattering holiday season were made with the help of mobile phones. And this technology, frankly, all these super smart computers that we just have in our pockets all day, as it turns out, this is changing the way that people move money around the planet. And I'm not specifically talking just Ripple and XRP, but that's certainly, undeniably, a part of this, because the way that people are interacting with money with these apps, it's changing the way that cross-border payments will occur moving forward. Consider SBI's MoneyTap app, which was originally announced as just a domestic payment system in Japan. It's now clear that XRP will be used, that has been announced, and so that app is going to be used to move money around the planet with XRP as a bridge currency. And I think more and more of this is just going to happen, because if you're any segment of the population and you want to move money across borders into a different fiat currency, the path of least resistance with the least friction requires the utilization of a bridge currency in almost 100% of instances. And that right now is XRP. It's the only cryptocurrency that's self-valued and being positioned for this use case. All the other coins being positioned for anything remotely similar, frankly, are coins that are bank coins, which are essentially stable coins. They're backed by something which does not address the issue of trust, and as a result cannot solve a global liquidity crisis, essentially, if I could be so dramatic. Really, we're just talking about the train wreck of Nostra Vostra accounts, but stable coins, bank coins, cannot solve that, and it's not a technology issue, not specifically. I mean, technology, yes, I understand blockchain is what is required, and a big piece of this, but it's a trust issue, and just using blockchain technology, if it's centralized, doesn't solve the trust issue, period. And then they have the subheading here, facing intense competition. MoneyGram, Western Union, and other legacy players have to compete with a plethora of fintech startups such as Instarem and Flexum in the Singaporean market. The former is one of RippleNet members in Southeast Asia that relies on blockchain for processing transactions in real time. Indeed, Instarem, actually, I think, weren't they renamed? I could swear they were renamed to something else. But anyway, yeah, absolutely, they're utilizing on-demand liquidity, which of course means XRP as a bridge currency. Now, apart from Singapore, MoneyGram recently expanded its presence in India because of its strategic partnership with EbixCash. Now, the important thing to me, because not all of the news that I'm going to report on this channel with MoneyGram will today necessarily have something to do with the immediate adoption of XRP, even though, of course, MoneyGram's using XRP as much as they freaking can and ramping it up as much as they can responsibly do so. But with all these connections being made here, it is absolutely their intent to continue the adoption of XRP as a bridge currency. On-demand liquidity is a thing that just is not going away. The genie's out of the bottle, and as it turns out, it is very, very useful. And there's no other solution, like I said just a few moments ago in this video, so there we are. Now here's a tweet from XRP Joe, who writes, "The high utility and low price of XRP indicates to many of us a possible slingshot. This is speculation, of course, but isn't much of it speculation this early in the game?" Well, XRP Joe, shout out to you, and absolutely, I tell you what, I absolutely agree with conceptually with what you're stating here. utility matters, and I think that more money will come in ultimately around XRP and those other cryptocurrencies that provide real utility. But I don't think look at what's happening in terms of investing right now in the crypto asset class. People are throwing their money into all sorts of things, and so that's just an indication that with the nascency of this asset class, we need to see some more maturation, because the differences between cryptocurrencies simply are not being parsed out to any meaningful degree. It depends on how you define meaningful, because technically, I'll say this, not that I'm not backtracking, but I'm just saying there's a reason that XRP is number 3 in market cap, and it has to do with the fact that enough people recognize that there is something there. But I think more and more people entering the space are going to have stricter requirements as time passes and people really delve into the differences between cryptocurrencies and real-world adoption. I think that those distinctions are going to be paramount in determining where you're going to plop down your money if you're a retail investor or institutional investor. And I think institutional investors are going to be even more stringent when it comes to deciding where they're going to put their money. So absolutely, XRP Joe, sage wisdom right there, and I'm completely on board with what you're stating there, so shout out again. But that's it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!